So I'm just taking us sort of through how I see these 3 days going. So the first day I think will be some tools to kind of strengthen, deepen, widen, embody more core NLP kind of approaches, which I think, like modelling and, those kinds of things, kind of capturing data, as it were, from an NLP point of view, kind of knowing where you are, being able to help people make certain kinds of changes. I think that will be very, very useful as a kind of recap and a deepening of your own practice. I've brought in, which I'll get to in a moment, but I've kind of brought in, again, thinking with the trainer in mind, one of the things that we do by way of assessment on practitioner and one of the things we do by way of assessment on the masters. So again, I think it will give you a feel for those kinds of fundamental tools of organising and helping people make changes through and with NLP. Tomorrow, I think we'll start sort of looking at the trainer training in more detail and kind of expanding and expounding and creating a pathway for everybody at the level that you want to do it at. Because there's going to be different levels in the group. People want to do this for different reasons. Some people want to be an NLP trainer, able to issue certificates. Most people don't, actually. They want to have this experience of being able to bring their NLP out more confidently with groups, with people, have more tools for their coaching, be able to do presentations well. So it'd be more like, and I'll talk about this tomorrow, like training with NLP, if you see what I mean. So it's like a deeply integrated way of using NLP. And then also tomorrow, we'll find some kind of way, which we knoweth noteth what that may be, of starting to pull together how you want to communicate about your journey on this program. What you want to share, what you want to take us through, how you want to do that. Everybody's will be, I'm sure, completely different. I do not know what people will want to do. Let's kind of leave that till tomorrow, and then we'll spend some time kind of doing that. Then I thought it would be nice, we may not go completely according to plan on this, but then on Monday we would do whatever these things are. People would have a certain amount of time, and I don't know what you'll do, but, let's find out. And then we'll bring and pause this phase of this program and bring all the kind of threads together for us, and also then set up the journey towards the autumn, sort of over the summer, towards the September first. There's 2 modules on the trainer training. They're both these 3-day modules, Saturday, Sunday, Mondays, aren't they, both of them, I think. So we're sort of set up towards that. So then we've got this sense of how the whole year has kind of functioned, hopefully, to take your confidence and your understanding and your appreciation and your own practice in leadership and mentoring and training up to whole new levels of results, of actual what you're doing in practice. So that's my plan for the 3 days.
Can I just ask,
what do you think?
The people that are doing the NLP training
Yes.
that want to train NLP,
Yes.
will we be certified to train NLP?
Yes, there'll be different levels of certificate, and I'll talk about that more, and we'll discuss it, actually. I am very open around this. For me, it's a tote. It's like, the level that people get to. Everything is a pause point. It's not an end. It's kind of like where people are and what they want. There's a combination of this. But it's completely on the table that there are certificates for people who want to train NLP and issue their own certificates and or PPD certificates co-signed by me. So all these things are on the table.
Yeah, and it will probably also be based on what happens after the trainer training. So there will be a level of assessment that will come into it after the second module that we may ask you to do in order to get that. So it might not be
issued forward support
totally.
For people. And kind of feedback and all of those things, which we'll do between us, it won't just be me, but it'll be a kind of collective thing where we'll set kind of like what do we think people should know and like should they be able to do. You know, we'll talk about it in much more detail tomorrow if that's all
That's
right.
fine,
To
yeah.
kind of pause that topic for now, and then we'll kind of open it down. I've brought the practitioner curriculum with me, our PPD one. There's also one on the ANLP website. There's also one in the book, I think, that we sent round to you last night, you know, the Powered by NLP book. Did everybody get that? Excuse me, which we wrote in this leadership group that I was in Alicante this year. That's been this group that's gone on from, I think we first met in 2012, so it's like this international group of senior, I suppose one would call oneself, teachers. And we can talk about all of that. I've brought in our master's curriculum, but also there are other master's curriculum. You don't have to follow ours. In fact, the times they are changing. You know, one of the things that we did in Spain was for everybody to do this thing. It's called expert. Oh, it's in one of the articles as well. Lucas Dirks brought it in. Expert validation, it's called. So we went, well, what should be in a practitioner certification? We went, well, we've got 30 people who've been teaching NLP for like 3,000 years in the room. Let's find out what everybody thinks, you know. And
What's
so
the consensus?
expert validation.
Sorry, but when you went through that exercise.
Yeah, we started to get quite a lot of consensus, because one of the ways that you can get bogged down is like everybody talking about, you know, discussing why this and they propose this but not that. But if you just get people voting, you know, everybody stuck stuff up that they've done in their courses and then people just voted, you know, yeah, I think that should be a no, I don't think that should. We had three, anyway, I could do it this way, we had 3 columns, you know, yes, it should be, maybe, and no, you know. So then you start to get a kind of guide to what people, especially, you know, there was somebody there from Chile, there were people from Australia, there were people from lots of European countries, obviously, primarily, some people from the States. So we covered nearly every continent, not quite. Kind of going, what do we think? You know, this should be. But we can talk about all of this tomorrow. And of course, we've got 6 days of trainer training to really, really focus on it and narrow it down. And give you time as well to get some of this sort of in this way more under your belt. But of course, the trainer training is also about presentation. It's about vision. It's about communication. It's about being an effective communicator with other people using your NLP. You know, for meetings or for coaching or for or presentations or for interviews, you know, you can use this program in multiple kinds of ways.